Hello, welcome to HITC Sport. Alright, for years, Premier League clubs have bullied their way around the European transfer market. And this summer, it actually reached sickening levels. Go Greats, we live in a world where Burnley, yes, Burnley FC, are able to attract one of Lyon's best players. We've now got Aston Villa rating the champions of Italy. Leeds are going out and signing Barcelona left backs. Right, so let's flip the script. I'm going to take a look at every current Champions League club and find one Premier League footballer who they should sign. Right, let's go. Man City, Harry Kane. Okay, well, this is just obvious. Good Christ, me suggesting that Man City should sign Harry Kane. Oh, well done.
How did you come up with that one then?
Christ, well, Pep Guardiola partly spent the summer living in Harry Kane's handbag. It wouldn't surprise me if Man City had lawyers hiding in a shower or sniffing his socks under the bed. The obsession was ridiculous. But okay, City need a focal point up front. Who better than Harry Kane? This man was winning golden boots, feeding off service from the likes of Eric Lamela and a Love Island wannabe like Dele Alli. Give him the likes of Kevin De Bruyne, Riyad Mahrez and Bernardo Silva. And this guy would be the English Lewandowski. He'd be banging in 50 goals a season. Ridiculous. PSG, Paul Pogba. If PSG can add an informed Paul Pogba to their midfield, then it's official. They're without a shadow of a doubt the greatest football team on planet Earth. Yes, I know during most of his time in England, Pogba has been a frustrating bag of haircuts. Honestly, this guy was bought to win league titles, not spent half the time dancing to Soldier Boy in the dressing room. But when on form, like so far this season, then he's no doubt a world-class footballer. Stick him in the French league where he doesn't really need to be disciplined in midfield. And honestly, we will see Pogba from the Juventus days. Mauricio Pochettino needs to demand that the PSG owners sign Pogba up on an £80 million pre-contract deal in January. Put him in the same team as Messi and Neymar, and honestly, I think I might just pass out. RB Leipzig, Trevoh Chalobah. Let's be honest. Yes, Trevoh Chalobah is getting some game time for Chelsea now, but I promise you, once the club get their teeth into Jules Koundé from Sevilla, this guy's gonna get stuffed back out on loan. Listen, he's already been loaned to Ipswich, Huddersfield and Lorient in France. This guy deserves an upgrade now. And considering RB Leipzig have just had both French prize centre-back starlets ripped out of their team, then why not a mid-season loan for the 22-year-old ball-playing Trevoh Chalobah? I mean, I have a feeling if you stick him in the Bundesliga, no, he's not going to melt like Ethan Ampadu. No, this guy will be making Gareth Southgate's England World Cup squad for Qatar next Christmas. Well, in that case then, I'd imagine if he did agree and move to Germany, then Tyrone Mings will probably rugby tackle him in the airport to preserve his England place. Club Brugge, Sean Longstaff. He's out of contract at Newcastle next summer, and let's be honest, he has the midfield presence of a blow-up doll. Why not, I guess? Atletico Madrid, Rafinha. Atletico Madrid have all legs stuffed up front. I know João Felix is still a kid, but I still think Diego Simeone needs to sprinkle some attacking magic in the final third of the pitch. And Rafinha, he's the Brazilian Riyad Mahrez. Chuck in a £40 million bid. I mean, you are Atletico Madrid. I think you can bully players out of Leeds. FC Porto, Ruben Neves. Why is Ruben Neves still playing for Wolverhampton Wanderers? He's a Portuguese midfield superstar. Why is he still playing for Kenny Miller's old team? Please, can somebody answer me that? Because we've already seen that the Molyneux project is dead in the water. Yeah, there was that question, could they break into the top four? And the answer is a resounding no. Neves, he was captaining Porto in the Champions League when he was aged 18 years of age. Now, he's having orders barked at him on a Friday night by an angry Scouse Connor Cozy. Come on, Neves, you spent 12 years of your life at FC Porto. They're in the Champions League. A £45 million bid should do it. Liverpool, Alan Saint-Maximin. I'm gonna say it. Alan Saint-Maximin is the best one-on-one dribbler in the Premier League. This guy is the modern-day reincarnation of Hannah Ben Arfa, except he's not built like a single shreddy. Yes, I know on paper his end product is a big lump of earwax. 7 goals in 56 appearances for Newcastle, but I don't care. Put him in a team where he's able to affect play in the final third. You know, receive the ball 20 yards from goal instead of having to beat 6 players in his own half. Then, lads, he would be an Anfield superstar. He'd be the perfect replacement for a waning Sadio Mane. £50 million and you've got a French wing wizard in his prime for the next half a decade. It makes sense. AC Milan, Ayoze Perez. AC Milan fans have been used to watching the likes of Kaká, Shevchenko, Ronaldinho, so me suggesting they sign Ayoze Perez, a guy who I once bumped into on a plane from Madrid. It was 4 years ago and I just lost my front tooth. He looked at me as if I had leprosy. But lads, this is a forward so frustrating. Newcastle fans were close to putting off their own ears every time he touched the ball. Perry's at the San Siro, yeah, on the face of it. Milan fans are probably chucking up their morning Weetabix at the thought of that. Lads, hear me out. You got Zlatan Ibrahimovic and Olivier Giroud as your centre forwards. They have a combined age of 73. I mean, come on, yes, Perez is an inconsistent mess, but he's energetic, he's got a good first touch. I think he'd be a useful £20 million signing. Ajax, Adam Lallana. I'm still confused why a skillful raconteur like Adam Lallana is continuing to waste his early 30s living in Brighton. What, were you just content with 6 years at a big club like Liverpool and that's it? Now it's back to relegation battles and crying in the sink? I know the theory is that he's got limbs made of tinfoil, but as he played 30 Premier League games last season. He's not exactly on his deathbed coughing up balls of blood. He's a silky ball-playing midfielder who glides around the pitch. He's tailor-made for Ajax, running strings in midfield with Dusan Tadic. Honestly, he'd morph into a 15-goal-a-season midfielder and would probably win Eredivisie Player of the Year. Besiktas Ross Barkley. It's sad, but at the age of 27, Ross Barkley's next move is to Turkey, isn't it? I mean, he looks like he spent the last 5 years eating nothing but turkey for breakfast. I think elite clubs have now decided that he's walking love of butter. So yeah, why not a loan move to Besiktas? At least they're in the Champions League. You could do worse. Ozzy, stick in the loan bid in January. And a midfield of Miralem Pjanic alongside Barkley, with Alex Teixeira on the wing, Michy Batshuayi banging him in up front. You'd have the league sewn up by Valentine's Day. Borussia Dortmund, WILFRIED ZAHA. I'm sorry, but if WILFRIED ZAHA spends the entirety of his 20s rotting away at Sellers Park, I think I might actually start bleeding from the ears. He has so much potential and talent. This would be like if Mark Zuckerberg had spent his 20s serving coffee in Starbucks. It's just, no. This is a disgrace, a complete and utter disgrace, that he's been overlooked each and every summer. This guy is one of the most devastating and skillful wingers in the Premier League, and he's destined to have the same career as Wayne Routledge. Lads, chuck him into the Champions League. He beat Ivorian Jadon Sancho, and that's exactly why Borussia Dortmund should give him that chance. In January, he'll have 18 months left in his Palace deal. Stick in a £30 million bid, and Ozzy, give him a world-class centre-forward like Erling Haaland to play around, instead of a walking telephone box like Benteke, and I promise you, Zaha will be scoring 15 goals and registering 20 assists per season. He'd be another Bundesliga goal-scoring monster. Ozzy, if he'd moved to Dortmund 5 years ago, then I promise you this, he'd be on the books of Bayern Munich right about now. Sporting Lisbon, James Rodriguez. Yeah. James Rodriguez is still at Everton and apparently just rejected a loan move to Istanbul Başakşehir. It is mental. This guy is a Real Madrid Galactico, a World Cup superstar, and yet Rafa Benitez would prefer to prioritise the likes of Andros Townsend. What? At the age of 30, why not a move back to Portugal? You only chew the Premier League at a shreds with Porto, 32 goals and 41 assists in 3 seasons. I mean, for an unknown teenage child plucked from the streets of Colombia. I mean, this guy is probably the most exciting prospect in Portuguese football since Cristiano Ronaldo. Sporting should make a low move for the guy. Stick him in midfielder Pedro Goncalves, and honestly, this team would be frightening. He might have to deal with angry Porto fans threatening to set fire to his cat. Inter Milan, Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang. Inter Milan need to replace goals. And I'm sorry, a dry chunk of pumpkin juice like Edin Dzeko is not going to cut it. Listen, Inter Milan have made a habit of rejuvenating, stagnating Premier League footballers. So why not a £50 million move for Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang? This guy, he's a walking Arsenal headache. An Arsenal captain who can't even turn up to matches on time. Arsenal need a fresh start. Mikel Arteta needs to get his underperforming, highly paid, walking haircut off the wage bill, and I'm guessing in the slower pace of Serie A, he'd once again be a Golden Boot contender. Go on, Simone Inzaghi. A frontline of Lautaro Martinez and Aubameyang. Already I can feel my scrotum begin to tighten. Real Madrid, Wesley Fofana. Real Madrid have just lost 2 centre-backs who'd played a combined 1,000 games of football for the club. They need defenders. I know Wesley Fofana is injured, but good Christ, he is the next big superstar centre-back. He's 20 years old, just revealed his dream is to play for Los Blancos. I mean, this move makes sense. I know Leicester shut Man United down for £80 million for one of their defenders, but this guy, you could net £100 million for Fofana. And for Madrid, he'd be worth it. Shakhtar Donetsk, Joe Linton. Shakhtar Donetsk like Brazilian footballers. Joe Linton has 6 goals in 69 Premier League matches for Newcastle. Are we forgetting he cost the club a record £40 million? Whoever sanctioned that, please go and earn a living building sandcastles at the beach, because you are not equipped to be handling that sort of cash. Anyway, he'd replace the aging Junior Moraes in the Shakhtar squad, and who knows, you might actually score some goals against the cottage pie defences in Ukraine. Sheriff Tiraspol, the Burnley lunch lady. I hear she makes good shepherd's pie. Now, Barcelona, Serge Aurier. How tragic is this? The great Barcelona, and I'm tipping them to pinch Serge Aurier on a free. Technically, he's not even a Premier League player anymore. He's an Ivorian right back who's just been dumped by Spurs. But lads, Barcelona have sold Emerson Royale. They can barely afford a packet of cheese for the canteen, so why not? Why not sign Aurier? Good grace, this is a team used to employ Danny Alves for years, and now I wanted them to sign a Tottenham reject. Christ, well, why don't you sign Hanna Benarfa while you're at it? Benfica, Alex Telles. Okay, Benfica have just lost a left back and Nuno Tavares to Arsenal. Just go out and bring Alex Telles back to Portugal. He's too good to spend the prime years of his career sitting on the bench watching Luke Shaw every week. I mean, this move might enrage the Porto fans to the point where they might actually bite off chunks of their own tongue. But lads, this guy is an attacking left back who in his last season in Portugal scored 13 goals. This is a no-brainer. £20 million should do it to rescue this guy from the Old Trafford dungeons. Dynamic, yeah, Phil Jones. Why not? Bayern Munich, Antonio Rudiger. I'm gonna say it. Antonio Rudiger is one of the most underappreciated defenders in world football. The former Roma centre-back, he's another monster in defence. He's been at Stamford Bridge for 4 years now. He should be treated as a modern-day Chelsea legend. But no, the likes of Frank Lampard acted as if this guy was about as defensively sound as a leaky fridge. Bayern Munich had just lost a German stalwart to Jerome Boateng. So why not sign a European winner like Rudiger? A guy with nearly 50 caps for Germany, a 28-year-old in the peak of his career. A centre-back pairing of him and Theo Upamecano. You're not getting past that. Atalanta, Marcos Alonso. Okay, I know Marcos Alonso has been brilliant so far this season for Chelsea, but I'm sorry. Is that club really going to let a £50 million Champions League winning left back just rot in the bath before selling him to Aston Villa? Let's not forget, this club did try to stick Alonso in a bin bag and dump him on Inter Milan's porch 6 weeks ago. This guy was minutes away from replacing Ashley Young. I mean, come on. Gianpiero Gasparini plays a 3-4-1-2 formation at Atalanta, which would suit Alonso. I mean, let's be honest, as a traditional left back in a 4-4-2, he's an erratic pigeon with the concentration of a cereal box, but he's already played in Italy before, so this move, it makes sense. Man United, Calvin Phillips. Man United need a defensive midfielder. I think Calvin Phillips proved at Euro 2020 that yes, the 25-year-old is a robust, tough tackling and sometimes creative midfielder. And without a doubt, an upgrade on Fred, Scott McTominay and an Nemanja Matic, who must surely have limbs made of cheese string. But I know what you're saying. A boyhood Leeds fan like Phillips, a guy who's been at the road since 14, no way he'd make this move, right? He wouldn't do that to the Leeds fans. Lads, can I remind you of Alan Smith? Then, yeah, why not Phillips? Money talks. Villarreal, Davinson, Sanchez. How Ajax were once able to get a £42 million fee for Davinson Sanchez, I have no earthly idea. A Colombian centre-back superstar, is he? What, is he really? Because even his fellow countryman Yerry Mina makes him by comparison look like a mouldy slice of toast. Unwanted at Tottenham, maybe Unai Emery could do something with him at Villarreal. Maybe on a cut price £15 million deal. Young boys, Divock Origi. It's mental that Divock Origi is only 26 years of age. It feels like the guy should be nearing 40. This you might think is ambitious that young boys could convince a guy who scored in the Champions League final to move to Switzerland, but you never know. Get David Wagner on the phone to beg to Jurgen Klopp. Offer Origi regular game time in the Champions League. You never know. Red Bull Salzburg, Takumi Minamino. Well, this is obvious. Takumi Minamino spent 5 years in the books of Red Bull Salzburg. The Japanese winger scoring 42 times and shipping with 30 assists in the Austrian Bundesliga. But while the Premier League for both Liverpool and Southampton, he's just been a walking marshmallow, just a headless chicken. Japan's answer to Jermaine Pennant. Get him a move back to Austria. The guy's probably begging to go back. Lille, Vicente Guaita. Lille haven't really replaced Mike Moynihan in goal now, have they? They've got Croatian goalie Ivo Grbic on loan from Atletico Madrid, but I'm sorry, doesn't have a single cap for his country and so far looks like he's playing with broken fingers. He's just looked damn shaky. Vicente Guaita might be 34, but the former Valencia and Getafe #1 is an excellent shot stopper for Crystal Palace. Maybe Lille could chuck in a cheeky £50 million bid. Sevilla, Ismaila Sarr. The fact that Ismaila Sarr is 23 years old and still at Watford, is this some sort of joke? Give this man to Julian Lopetegui at Sevilla. Put him in a Liga title race, which would be an upgrade to spending the last 2 years passing the ball to Troy Deeney. Then yeah, he'd be seen as one of the best wingers in Europe. Wolfsburg, Alex Oxlade-Chamberlain. Why not? Alex Oxlade-Chamberlain is the forgotten man at Anfield. Was his move to Liverpool even really a success? Yeah, the man's got the medals. He got that one Stevie G moment against Man City in the Champions League. But he spent the bulk of his 4 years in the treatment room. What's his career now? Just 8-minute cameos against Leeds? I think learning under a former Barcelona midfield general like Mark van Bommel, given regular game time for an outside Bundesliga title challenger like Wolfsburg, maybe then his England career won't have died a death in 2019. Chelsea, Declan Rice. I hate saying this, but Declan Rice, he ticks all the boxes. The guy's already spent 9 years of his life on the books of Chelsea. He's best friends with Mason Mount. He would fit seamlessly into Thomas Tuchel's 3-4-3 system, either as a central midfielder or a ball-playing centre-back. Factor in the fact he's one of the first names on the England team sheet, then sorry lads, I know, I can already feel my mouth filling up with blood. But yeah, Rice should move to Chelsea. Juventus, Donny van de Beek. Does somebody want to explain to me why Donny van de Beek is being completely and utterly ignored at Manchester United? The Dutch midfielder, he's a damn good midfielder. You'd swear he's the next David Klaassen the way you go on about him. You know, back when he was a potato in an Everton shirt. Van de Beek's not that. Juventus under Max Allegri, you need to dump the highly paid Welsh waste of wages in Aaron Ramsey. Maybe give him to West Ham or somebody and replace him with a 24-year-old hungry Van de Beek with a point to prove. And I promise you, given game time for a big club like Juventus, he'd be one of the best midfielders in Europe. Zenit St. Petersburg, EMMANUEL Dennis. It's the modern day Salomon Rondon. Why not? Malmo Jordan Ayew. His contract runs out at Crystal Palace. I don't know, would Jordan Ayew want to move to Sweden? Well, his brother's happy to move to Qatar, so clearly he's not fussy. And with that, let me know in the comments, what do you think? Alright, what players should move to Champions League clubs? Let me know in the comment section below. If you enjoyed the video, don't forget to like, subscribe, and as always, I'll talk to you in a while.